What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I just want to do a little preview, a little discussion about Season 8 of the Matt Report, and I'm actually curious how many people here don't listen to the audio version of the Matt Report. It has been a WordPress entrepreneur-focused podcast for the last 5 or 6 years now, 300, maybe 400 episodes. I don't really count them at this point anymore. And this storyline for Season 8 is all about the change of WordPress, things that are changing in the business landscape, the software itself, and the community, their general reaction around all of these moving parts, right? And how many of us as people who are making a living using WordPress are coping with it. So some people that I talked to this season, they're doing just fine. And you know, the focus of WordPress or not has stayed its course for them and things are doing fine. Other folks have seen a change. They have to readjust their business, maybe pivot a little bit to accommodate those changes. And we're exploring that all in this season, and I'm super excited to get started. So one of the important things for me for Season 8 was to have more voices in a short amount of time. I don't know how I'm gonna release these episodes yet. I've already recorded about 4 or 5 of them by the time you're watching this video. But I've had a heavy emphasis on doing panels this season. And I wanted to get discussions going, not just of myself one-on-one with somebody, but to have multiple guests, maybe debating some of the changes that they're seeing, good or bad or otherwise, but putting a diverse panel together at each step of the way. So folks who might be doing just agency work, folks that might just be doing product work or a combination of the two, people who have left, quote unquote, the WordPress space, but to focus on more digital marketing and SEO types of services. So really just getting hopefully a wide breadth of knowledge and input from folks who have had to readjust or are staying the course. Some of the discussions in this season have been spectacular. You know, I've talked to Ryan Sullivan, WP Site Care, and his whole transformation of, you know, growing one of the very first WordPress maintenance businesses to really outlast a whole field of people, of copycatters, in fact, to his business. The reasons why he made the shift and the reasons why he, you know, made the decision to go out and get acquired by Southern Web. So we've had that discussion. Sarah Dunn and Jason Resnick and a whole bunch of people that I really admire in the WordPress space that once started, you know, very fully vested in the WordPress community, but sort of took a step back and said, look, I can't put all of my eggs in one basket of this thing called WordPress. We love it. We love the tools. We do love the people here, but that's not going to be my positioning. That's not going to be my branding, my messaging moving forward. And I really respect that. And I enjoyed the conversations that we had there. Brad Williams running an agency, Rebecca Gill doing SEO, and she is somebody who has seen, you know, a whole range of experiences from agency to product to themes to SEO consulting and then like an info product within that. So just a wide range of folks that we talked to this season. Really excited to get this one out of the gate for you. It really has me thinking about, you know, WordPress news and WordPress media in general. It felt like we peaked about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, where there was just a lot of podcasts coming out. There were a lot of news blogs coming out, and there was a lot of headlines being made, I think. I think a lot of folks were very interested in those companies that were doing $10, $15, $20, $50,000 a month in WordPress products. There's a lot of excitement around that. Short of what Syed Balki just launched with his sort of WordPress focused incubator or accelerator. I don't really have the show notes in front of me on that. But, you know, short of that and StudioPress selling and iTheme selling, I mean, there were some big headlines there, but not really seeing that same sort of TechCrunch vibe. I know I really don't even like to say that, but I don't really feel that TechCrunch vibe anymore around the space. And I'm curious to see where WordPress news goes in general, because I think more people are going to be interested in WordPress news when Gutenberg rolls out and when WordPress 5.0 comes out, and even looking into the future, I think what that movement will do is onboard a whole new set of curious minds. When I really think that right now we have that 1% of the 1%, and a lot of us are sort of just dried out from it. And I think we're going to get a whole new set of that, and there will be a whole new reinvestment on where the WordPress marketplace is going. .org put out a questionnaire on where you get your news from, right? And they listed a bunch of sort of, high traffic, high ranked WordPress blogs like Syed's blog, but of course, .com and WordPress.org. But it's funny to see like they don't include any of the what I'll call indie publishers, and not to say that my name should have been up there, but there are folks like Brian Krogsgaard from Post Status, right? These are people that are putting real concerted efforts into publishing news, or at least we have been for the last couple of years, although again, admittedly, I think it all sort of has dialed back. Brian, myself, and a lot of other indie publishers in the news space sort of dialed back because, maybe it's just not as exciting right now. We're sort of all in like a holding pattern with this whole Gutenberg thing, or, the third degree is we're just all sort of burned out from it. And I honestly don't know where the real passionate WordPress power users are going to be left with in a year to 2 years from now. Especially with a much more, blog-focused, site-creating WordPress versus the more customizable content management system, custom post types, and all of that fun stuff that we see with WordPress today. I don't know what's going to happen with this big push to have a new editor. It could be amazing. It could be the biggest opportunity that we have, or it could be a sinking ship. And not a sinking ship in a bad way, but just for us builders that are out there, maybe it's just not the solution for all of us moving forward. I think that for WordPress, though, it's much more, I guess, intimate, because this is the thing that helps many of us watching this make money. So we're very passionate about it, and we're always in a guessing, theory crafting state. And then when changes do come about, like Gutenberg, a lot of us get really passionate, borderline angry, I guess, at some of the things that are happening, because it's something that's affecting our paycheck and our livelihood. So it really has me thinking, what is the future for the Matt Report? And, it's a little bit up in the air right now, I'd have to say. The whole, focusing on WordPress entrepreneurs is something that is near and dear to my heart. It's what gets me going and keeps my family fed, and I know a lot of you listeners out there. But, is it time to extend beyond that? Is it time to just change everything altogether? Sometimes this does feel like a uphill battle, right? Publishing the types of content that I publish, sort of really from that blue-collar digital worker. I really think that's a thing, right? I really think there needs to be a voice out there that sort of challenges the status quo and is sort of, the reason I ask the questions that I ask is I blatantly don't know the answer to a lot of these questions. And I'm generally curious on how people will adjust to markets and how they run their business, and what happens when you feel like this is open source and you're building software and you're really committed to the cause, but nobody sort of at the top is listening to you. I mean, these are all deep-rooted human level problems. This isn't just a WordPress thing, but it gets amplified because the community of WordPress is so big. And I think that a lot of people want to have a voice, they want to contribute, but they don't know how, or they don't have time, and there really can't be this sort of meeting in the middle of anything like that. But at the same hand, like, I feel like WordPress is something that is just like a thing that I want to exist. Like, I don't want WordPress to ever go away. WordPress as we know it, free and downloadable and customizable, and an independent platform from the big platforms, your own platform that you can build upon. And I don't want it to go away. So it's one of those things where, geez, do I really step away from producing WordPress-focused content because I do really love that mission of democratized publishing? Do I say, you know what, this isn't really something that's moving the needle anymore? And by moving the needle, I mean like creatively, building out a network of folks. Is it really amplifying a message anymore? Do people care what I have to say? So I really start to, either doubt myself and think about the types of content that I put out on this channel. I really hope that when this goes out, you're excited to listen to it and consume the stories. But I'm interested to know what your thoughts are. Where are you getting your WordPress news these days? Do you think it's a little bit quieted down? Do you think it's a little bit quiet these days in terms of WordPress headlines and big movers and shakers in this space? Where do you get your WordPress news nowadays? does it really matter anymore to your business if you're getting those types of headlines and you're listening to WordPress specific content? I know I've heard in the past some mixed input about that, but interested to hear where everybody's at nowadays going into the end of summer, into the fall, and then into the holiday season. Really love to get what you all want to listen to. It's mattreport.com, mattreport.com/subscribe to join the mailing list. Stay connected there because that's where you'll know when I launch season 8 proper on iTunes and Google Play and all of your favorite podcasting apps. Like this video. If you do, sub to the channel if you want to see more videos. I've been doing all kinds of business and sort of marketing stuff on this channel, much more, I guess, of personal messaging. It's nothing really tutorial or content driven or tutorial driven. It's much more face-to-face talking head content, make you think, hopefully, material. If you like it, sub to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.